Welcome, YouTube family. This is Randy. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Christ on the Coast. And we got back from our trip to Shell Beach and Cambria the day before yesterday. And I'm proudly wearing my Harmony it's not sweatshirt, but my t-shirt that Debbie bought me in Harmony to go with my beautiful wardrobe of my sweatshirt as well. And funny thing, we left last Sunday, and after working a really long, hard summer, it was beautiful up there. The first day we got there, I didn't feel very well when we arrived. It turned out to be like about a 4.5 hour drive to get up with the traffic and everything up to Shell Beach. And the strange thing is that I started to feel kind of achy. I didn't feel normal, so I really just basically got sick. And I still was able to kind of manage to kind of get up and move around and kind of go outside a little bit but the first day or two, it was not good. So it was bad. And Debbie was so patient. She took all her crocheting stuff. And you know, the neat thing about when you've been married for 40 years, Debbie and I are so comfortable with each other. We kind of go with the flow, basically. So anyway, but welcome to my YouTube channel. Today's I did eventually recover we came home on Friday, and Debbie got sick Thursday on the trip too. Bless her heart. And but her thing was only about 24 hours, and she's totally fine. I'm totally fine. But when we got home on Friday, my son Randy and my daughter-in-law Elise, they came over to our house because they're down from Olympia, Washington. So we got to see our grandkids. And this video today is about seeing Clayton and Delilah, who we haven't seen in 3 years, except for like on a FaceTime call here and there, just because of COVID, and they live in Washington. And so now we were able to see them, and boy, what a amazing couple of kids that they've raised. It's awesome. So anyway, so today's video is talking about Clay and Delilah, and we're going to take a walk on the beach. Good morning. It's totally overcast. By the way, I'm still in the Prius studio. There it is. There's Debbie's Prius. Look at this thing. Oh, there we go. Let's see. There it is. Look at her. She's a beaut. Yeah, I still got it on Monday. That's tomorrow. I'm gonna be taking the Doka in to Chris because he's gonna be able to repair it and stuff. Good morning. So it's leaking gas, and I didn't want to bring it down here again, and so we're not bringing it down. Okay, I've got to tell you about these beautiful grandkids that I have. And first of all, just to kind of give you the background of my son. My son is a college professor up in University of Washington Tacoma campus, and they live in Olympia. He teaches in Tacoma, and my daughter-in-law Elise, she is a school teacher up in Olympia, and I don't know what grade she teaches, but it's elementary school, some grade in elementary school. Really, these parents, they're hands-on parents, and they're very attentive to their kids, and and again, we haven't seen them in 3 years. So the last time we were up there 3 years ago, they're just wholesome, sweet kids. And so they come over to our house, and now Clayton, he weighs 89 pounds now. So last time I saw him, he probably weighed about 60 pounds. Delilah, she is 6 years old. Clay's 10 years old. I think Delilah's 6. She might be 5, but I think she's 6. Anyway, they are just so sweet. So they came over to go swimming in our pool, and they have never, Clayton has never dove into a pool before, and he says he's 10. This is the first year that he's really basically, this is the first year that he really has kind of learned how to swim, and so that's, he was telling me, he said, well, it's pretty old for him to be able to swim. He said that most of his buddies, they're on swim teams and stuff, and he just, he kind of basically learned this year. He plays baseball, and he's a good baseball player, and he plays instruments. He plays the viola, and just a great kid. So they come in, and they haven't seen us in 3 years, so, they kind of came in and, kind of gave us a, little hug, and, and they had all their gear and all their bathing suits and stuff ready to kind of jump into the pool. So they got changed into their bathing suits, and it's about probably 4 o'clock in the afternoon, still really warm at our house. And so Clayton makes the announcement that he's going to do, he didn't realize that we had a deep end in our pool, and he asked if it was okay to dive into it. I said, absolutely, you can dive into this pool. It's 8 feet deep. You're not going to hit your head on the bottom or anything. So my son Randy and I are sitting on this double chaise lounge together as we're watching. Delilah's down on the other end of the pool with Elise and my wife Debbie, and they're talking, and just watching little Delilah. She's got her full floaties on and stuff, and now Clay is, he's going to make this gigantic appearance in the form of a dive in our deep end. So he says, do you want me to do the, and I forget what term he used. He kind of put you want me to do my, my straight out, twisty turny dive, and something like that. And I said, yeah, you can. He said, well, tell me when you want me to go. And I said, okay, anytime you're ready, Clay. So he jumps in. It's the first dive in a pool ever. And I don't think he's ever been in a pool outside before, either, because they have indoor pools up where they live. And so he goes in and he kind of does a somersault, and and kind of leans to the side and does kind of a side splash. It was actually kind of a full somersault by the time he entered into the water. So I was pretty impressed with that. And so then he comes up out of the water, and he's laughing, and he said, well, how was that? I said, that was unbelievable. And so he gets out, and I said, well, why don't you go out and why don't you do another one? So then he says, okay. So he gets out, and he, and Randy and I are laughing our heads off. And then he says, I'm just going to do a straight on dive. So he just gets by the edge of the pool, and, steps back a couple feet and runs and does a full-on belly flop right into the deep end and splashing everything, and then he's doing cannonballs, and then he's doing, all kinds of things, and so I'm just watching this guy, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm just praising the Lord that I've been given this gift through my son of this remarkable little guy, and his vocabulary and the way that he puts sentences together and all these different things is just, it's really funny. And I didn't get a chance to talk to Delilah as much because my son is down. They're on vacation as well, and they've got an itinerary of things. So they were going to spend. So we really basically got to spend a couple of hours with them on Friday, and so we were just, Randy was kind of filling me in on what he's doing, with his tennis, and he started to play again, and what's going on at school, where he's teaching, and then, but Clay is just keeps coming up. He's just, and we're right on the edge of the pool, and he's just continuing talking to us and asking me if I want to see his, impersonations and things. And I said, yeah. He said, okay, I'm going to do an impersonation of an obese, he says, of an obese Olympic swimming person. So then he kind of floats out into the middle of the pool, and then he just kind of goes, and just kind of floats around with his tongue. That's an obese swimming person. And then he's got squirt guns, and he's got all these things. And so there was so much joy and laughter. And then he gets stung by a bee in the, there was a bee in the water, and it stung him. So he was all bummed out about that, and we got the stinger out. And then Delilah, we had Domino's pizza delivered to the house, so we had, we're ready to eat our dinner and stuff. And then Delilah, she gets out of the pool, and then she's got this rash all over her hands and all over her body, and so then Elise has to rush her to the emergent care, and so that happens, and so then it was just Clay and me and Debbie and Randy sitting at the table, and Delilah, it took about 30 minutes, and she's fine. She came back, but then they had to go, and so anyway, but that's the rushed around family life of a young person, of a young family like my son and his wife, and all these things happen, so quickly, but at the same time, it was packed into the day. At the end of the day, after we've driven back 6 hours straight shot from Cambria, but it was so well worth it to just talk to these guys and just see what they were doing. And I am so encouraged this morning because they are just, I know that every grandparent says that their grandkids are pretty special, and they should say that. But I'm going to tell you that our grandkids are very special. I can't believe how articulate both of them are, and they're just so polite, and it was awesome. It was just an awesome experience. And so that's going to be today's video. Jesus Christ is so good to Debbie and I. He is just amazing that he would give Debbie and I the gift of our 2 children, beautiful Jessica and beautiful Randy. And now Randy has these 2 beautiful, not only is he married to the most wonderful girl, Elise, but they've given us these 2 grandchildren, Clayton and Delilah, that are just sparkling and beautiful. And so anyway, today's video, that's basically going to be the story of my grandkids and getting to see them. And I just praise you, Jesus, for having them come down. Holy, 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 Lord God Almighty, heaven and earth are filled with your glory. Holy, 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 merciful and mighty, God in 3 persons, God in 3 persons, God in 3 persons, blessed Trinity. Until next time, you guys. Bye-bye.